I'm a Taoist jihad. Okay, it's very difficult being a Taoist jihad. What I do is I teach, and I teach, but this has a consequence. I'm teaching and teaching so they can't be forgiven, because they have more responsibility the more they know. But then, while in the meantime, in between, they know a lot, and they use it for bad reasons. So I have to suffer this in the meantime. But they, as in Jesus said, forgive them, they know not what they're doing. I can say, no, they know exactly what they're doing because I told them what they're doing. So you won't be forgiven. And that's how I win. I'm going to talk about cancer. I had an interesting relationship with cancer in my life. I don't even like to talk about it. Basically, I know what cancer is. Cancer can't be cured. You can't cure cancer, okay? You can stop it. You can reduce it entirely. Kafka, I think it was Kafka, who made these kind of weird, absurd little stories. I like. They're good. There's some lord of Neptune or something like this, and he has lord of the seas or something, and he has to deal with all his paperwork that's amounted through some sort of situation, and he specifically must deal with all of these occasions himself and can't employ staff to deal with these occasions, and he's got a lot of paperwork. And his king, Neptune, Lord, whatever, it's a story. It's just a story. Has all this paperwork, and it's massive. Okay, it's a massive, big tumor of paperwork. Okay, and this is where cancer comes from. Okay, I wrote an essay about Thomas Hobbes in my junior year in university. It got an A. I was very happy with this essay. Most people don't like Thomas Hobbes. They think he's a crazy authoritarian. But I wrote in the intro paragraph of this essay, I very cleverly said that when somebody's got a tumour, a malignant, dirty, stupid tumour in them, and it's easily removable, there's no ethics committee that's assigned for the preservation or the rights of the tumour. There's no debate about the matter. There's no discussion. If they can be removed, they remove the tumour and try to save the greater body, the life. This is very Thomas Hobbes. That if you have a tumour, you're not supposed to think twice about it. So that's where the authoritarianism kind of comes from. That you wouldn't even think twice about destroying or removing this tumour from your life. A tumour itself depends upon the body. Okay, a tumour is stupid. A tumour is very stupid and greedy and stupid and selfish. It's so greedy and stupid and selfish, it doesn't realise that it's harming what it needs to survive. As in, it's going to kill the greater body, your body, and it will die along with the greater body. So this is an analogy that you have to interpret or understand. If you want to understand cancer, you have to understand this. Humans can be like this. You don't understand the paperwork you might be inducing for some Lord Neptune, basically. You don't understand. I wouldn't say there's a lot of tumours or cancer in like Buddhist communities who really, really deal with ignorances. They don't like ignorances at all, and they try to make people understanding. They really don't like ignorances. It's a violation. I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, this tumour is ignorant, and it's stupid and selfish, and it's going to destroy the greater body, and it'll destroy itself in the process. Your world is suffering this at the moment. Okay. As above, so below. These are causing harm to higher things that you depend on. Heavens, basically. You depend on these to survive. You depend on these for clean waters, for orientations of nature. You depend on these things for regulation of your world and protection and lordship over your world. You depend on higher heavens. You have a responsibility over some lower heavens, a mundane heaven, and they fight over that. It's terrible. It's absolutely feudalistic and terrible what they do, fighting over a mundane lower heaven that you have a responsibility over. You have a responsibility. Came with this. You have a responsibility. Holy Roman Empire basically always wanted to maintain this heaven very well and not be fighting over it. And people wanted to build like a perfect Byzantium, some perfect, but still at the same time it's meant to be natural. So even like your perfect Byzantium heaven is kind of not naturalistic. You're trying to make it too reasonable. as above, so below. You see this in the Israel flag, as above, so below. It's a covenant between you. So if you're harming the heavens, it'll harm the world. You become godless, basically. You have no lordship. And nature will start dying. So fish will start dying. You see lots of fish dying because there's no lord. As in, Mr. Lord Neptune is supposed to be governing over the bodies of the fishes in the oceans, and he's too busy with all this paperwork that you've induced. And now you see nobody governing the fish, and the fish are all dying. And you see nobody governing things like this. There's no regulation on your world because you have lost lordship. People out there claiming to be lords and gods and things and doing things and using high and holy names are doing this stuff, and my name and the name of a lord. This is why you say do not mess with the name of a lord in vain, because they can do lots and lots of stuff, but they can also harm, lots and trespass in heavens. And the same trouble with Elijah. They stole the keys of heaven off him because he was trusted with these keys of heaven, and they stole them from him, and it caused a lot of problems for 900 years. So these are being cancerous, basically, and that's why your world will be destroyed. If you succeed in harming heaven, as the cancer wants to succeed in being greedy, it will destroy you. This is why I win. Either way, you lose. You will destroy. If you're selfish and greedy and cancer-like and destroy and harm heaven, and you will be destroyed in the process, you lose. And if you concede a proper true lordship, and to me, you technically, you lose as well. You don't lose like in your game that you're playing anyway. So that's why I win, and I know I win. If you're destroyed entirely, or if I save you all, either way I win. Yes, drink to this wonderful celebration. So you save yourself a lot of time, you know what I mean? So, yep, these are stupid, greedy, ephemeral, not really ephemeral, like I said, because I'm educating you, and I told you. So the cancer knows better now, and the cancer knows it's harming the greater body that it depends upon to survive. And if you keep going down this cancerous road, this cancerous pathway that you've, with your greed and your coveting and your selfishness to expand and to grow and to take over and dominate, you will destroy its greater body, and you'll destroy yourself in the process. So yeah, that's a little IED, improvised educational device of a Taoist jihad. You are harming heaven, you are trespassing and harming heaven, and it says in the revelation of Jesus Christ, you will be destroyed for this. There will be no ethics committee assigned for the preservation of your species. You will be destroyed like a cancer is undebatably removed and destroyed to preserve the greater body. In case you're wondering what's happening in your world. So yeah, now you know. Ignorance is coveting your lies. It's adulterous. You are very committed. You are being committed. You are committing to adultery, in lying and thieving and stealing and cheating. That's what adultery is. Thinking you can get away with this. You say like, oh, I don't believe in high and holy religion, so I'll get away with all these things now. That's committed to adultery. And now you will face St. Peter. You will face the music. You will, and you'll be on your own. And you will be utterly accountable to. If you realize this in life, you can live a much better life, a life with God, than denying it, and childishly, semblantly, and adulterously thinking that you'll get away with these things that you've. We're so very free to reveal yourself. You are so very free in a safe and controlled and quarantined environment for you to reveal what you would like. That's what Crowley said to you. Do what thou wilt. Yep. So, stop killing yourself. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Are you responsible for the deaths of all these men? Of course, Michael. Of course. That's actually a funny statement. Not to be happy. I'm not happy. Michael means who else but God. And it's like, of course. So when he says, of course, Michael, it's really like, Michael. He may as well be saying his name twice. Of course, Michael. Of course, Michael. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun.